Go! What's going on, guys? Bearded Wretch here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a new release from Ruger. It is the SFAR. So this is a pretty sweet gun that Ruger recently released, and I gotta say it kind of checks all the boxes for me. So what this is a 308 AR, which again you're probably thinking, well, what's the big deal about that? This thing is super sweet. So it's about the same weight as a standard AR-15. This thing comes in, I believe, around 5.5, 6 pounds empty without all the crap on it. So that alone is phenomenal. If you guys watch my SIG 716i video that I recently posted, one of the notes I made with the downsides of that rifle is it's so heavy. It's a very cumbersome gun, but this thing is ridiculously light. So, I mean, there is no issue running this gun around. I mean, you can swing it around and do all you need to. It's incredibly light. So when I saw the video on Such's channel, I just had to have one. So I texted my buddy at Dixon Gun Works, and he had one come in out of the blue. He had it ordered months ago, I guess, when Ruger first announced this, and he got it, went in the same day, picked it up. This thing is sweet, guys. So if you're like me and you run ARs a lot and you just get into the 308 rifle, you want something a little bit heavier hitter, there's not a lot of options out there for light ARs. So when I bought my SIG 716i, like I told you guys in that video, I wanted it as like a run and gun kind of rifle, something with an EOTech, something I can run just a little bit heavier hitter than a standard 5.56 round, but still maneuverable. And I learned pretty quick that that gun's not really meant for that role. That's a good DMR role, mid to long range kind of gun. So I've been looking for an AR, I've been looking at 308 pistols and all these different brands to try to find something that was light that I could kind of force into that role, because I wanted something, like I said, 308, but it's maneuverable as an AR-15. And I didn't really find anything, couldn't find anything, and then boom, this thing hits the scene. And I like this gun a lot more than my SIG already, just because the standardization of parts on it. So again, my biggest grief also with SIG, besides the weight of the rifle, was their parts. The charging handle had to be proprietary. It was super big, super bulky. This thing takes standard AR-15 parts, from the grips to the trigger to the charging handle. This charging handle is just a standard BCM AR-15 style charging handle. It's not even a 308 charging handle, and it works. It works awesome in this gun. So this thing is, to me, like I said, it checks all the boxes. It's a heavy hitter, big 308 round, but in an AR-15 size package without all the extra bulk. So as you can see at the back of the gun here, from the magwell back is a standard AR-15 size. Nothing is thick about it, nothing's big about it. I mean, you can see the profile of the gun's not very wide until you get to the magwell, which is kind of where the important part starts. And that's where it starts to bulk up just for the mag, but there's not a lot of extra material where there doesn't need to be extra material. I mean, it looks like a standard AR-15. The handguard is a very thin and very light handguard. I mean, I love this gun, guys. I really do. I picked this thing up this past Thursday. So this video will post today. Today's Sunday. So it's a very new gun. I did sight it in. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you see my first group out of it with my 168 grain Hornady AMAXs that I like to shoot. And this thing at 100 yards on that steel down there, I shot 10 rounds on a head-sized target on one of these IPSCs like this. So the steel I'm shooting at is pretty much this size, it's standard size. And all 10 rounds were within the 0 zone of that target, if you guys want to check that on Instagram. And that was from 100 yards free-handed. I couldn't believe it. It took me months to get my SIG even close to that accuracy, finding different ammos and all that. And even with standard 147 grain ball, like M80 ball, I'm still getting groups well within a hand size at 100 yards free-handed. You guys have seen my videos. I'm not a super great shot, so that's pretty impressive for me. But I think what helps with that is this primary arms optic. So this is their ACSS Raptor 3x magnified prism optic. I've been on the fence about this. So I know a lot of YouTubers run primary arms stuff. I never have. I've always been kind of like a Vortex kind of guy, Trigicon, stuff like that, EOTech. But Brandon had this sitting on the shelf at Dixon Gun Works, and I figured I'd give it a try. And this is a perfect pairing for this rifle. So it's got the ACSS reticle in it, which if you guys have seen, it's got the chevron, and the horseshoe and stuff like that, which you can set it for 308 in here, which is really nice. It comes with all these different mounts, like 1,000 different ways to mount this freaking thing. But it's perfect for this gun. It's very clear, very nice glass. I'm really impressed for like 300 bucks. I mean, come on, you can't beat that. So other parts on the gun, Troy flip up sights, kind of like all my guns, but these are the candid. So you guys see those are candid sights, just because you can't really run iron sights with a prism optic. You can't see through it to see your iron sights. So at the 45, if this thing ever goes down, which it's an etched reticle, so even if the battery's died, I can still use it. But if that thing gets shot off or whatever, I can just rotate the gun slightly and still engage targets if I need to. Mod light, like you guys know, standard on all my guns. BCM grip, K2 grip. This Magpul stock came on it, so it's pretty nice little stock. This is just their standard, I believe, MOE SL stock, so it's nothing fancy. BCM charging handle, and that's really about it for the gun, guys. Nothing else really important that I've put on it. Now the muzzle device, this is kind of my only little, I don't want to call it negative about the gun, but I'm gonna have to change it or suppress it or something. But the concussion that comes off this thing, and this is the factory muzzle device, is ridiculous. It's a pretty hardcore concussion on it. So when I was sighting it in for my shoot house, you guys have seen it bouncing around that shoot house. It'll ring your ears even with a couple of layers of ear pro on, but it's not terrible. I mean, I've shot worse, but it's on up there. It's close to like a SBR or a 10.5 or 7.5 pistol, the way this thing concusses. But I guess it comes with the territory when you're shooting at 308. So again, it's not really a downside to it. It's just something to watch out for. If you're going to do a lot of shooting at an indoor range, you're going to be that guy in the range that's just blowing people out of their booths. I mean, that's just part of it. But overall, the gun is super sweet. It does have an adjustable gas system. You guys see that in there. It comes with a tool that you can put in the grip of your rifle here to adjust that, or you can stick a screwdriver in there, nose of a bullet, whatever. It has 3 different settings. So it comes on setting 3. They say that's the setting to leave it on until you break the gun in. Then you click it down to setting 2, which will help reduce recoil. And then if you run suppressed, you click it to setting 1. So we'll test all that. I have a 7.62 can coming, so we'll try to throw that on here, see how it does suppressed. Now, some of the videos I watched on YouTube of guys shooting this thing suppressed, they say they get almost no gas coming out of this thing. And that's partly because the bolt carrier group, as you can see, is ported, and there's ports on the side, that little hole there, and that little guy there. It's ported, so all that gas escapes out of those holes instead of blowing right in your face. So we'll test that. When I get my suppressor, I'll do another video of this, one, because I'm going to review the suppressors. But we'll do a video with this gun and see how it does. But I'm tired of me talking. I'm going to do some shooting and kind of show you guys just how the gun runs. Maybe you'll catch the concussion on this thing. It's pretty ridiculous. But overall, guys, I love the gun. The only malfunctions I've had out of this, I believe, was from some of the ammo I was shooting. I was shooting some of the Freedom Munitions AMAX stuff. And one of the cases, I think some of the brass stripped off of it and got stuck inside the chamber of the gun, so the bolt wouldn't seat. Cleared that out, and that was the only thing I've had, the only problem I've had. So just some debris in the chamber, but other than that, the gun runs great. Super light, super light. I mean, it's almost, I can't even describe how light this thing feels when you first pick it up. Obviously, when you throw a bunch of crap on it like I do, it weighs it down, but this is nowhere near the weight of that SIG 716i. So if you're wanting a 308 that's like a running gun, kind of like an AR-15 is, right here, guys, the Ruger. So let's get to shooting it. We'll get to going with it, and we'll ring some steel. All right, guys, so like before, I'm at only about 25, 30 yards from my closest and about 60 to 65 from my farthest. So not a real good, distance, whatever. I can go back to 100 yards. You guys have seen that. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen my zeros at 100 yards, or my groups at 100 yards, I should say. So the gun is very accurate. I'm very surprised. But this little 3X, killer for this gun. So I know you guys can't really pick it up on the mic that I have, but the noise that comes out of this gun is just absolutely ridiculous. It's hilarious and I love it. I don't know if you guys can see the amount of dust that thing just kicked up downrange. I don't know how well that's picking up, but this thing is throwing some rounds out of this. But let's see if we can just dump it. Oh, had a little bit of a feed issue there. That was the last round too. Could have been the mag, could have been the ammo, could have been the gun. I don't know. We're still breaking it in. So they do have like a 100 to 200 round break-in period for the gun. So it could be part of that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll shoot a little bit more. And the gun has been lubed and everything. So something I forgot to mention, I just noticed while I was shooting, the trigger on this gun is about 3.5 pounds, 4 pounds-ish, which is phenomenal. It's actually a very clean trigger for a factory trigger. I was very surprised. So the break is very smooth, very crisp, very tactile trigger. So, I mean, for a factory trigger, you really can't get better than like 3.5, 4 pounds. I think it's killer. It doesn't have a lot of mush to it, doesn't have a lot of take up to it, anything like that. So just another pro for Ruger. I really think Ruger hit this one pretty good. So let's shoot some more. Let's see if we can get. I love this gun. All right, guys, as you can see the shoot house behind me, we backed up to 101 yards. That's from this shoot house to my farthest steel. So I'm gonna do free-handed, take some shots at that steel at the 101. So I'll show you guys. Way out yonder, way past the Can-Am. So we're gonna take some shots, just free-handed, to kind of show you guys how accurate this thing is. If I can get that camera to hang in there. Come on, baby, hold on for me. We're getting there. This is some low budget production stuff going on. But anyway, so we're gonna take some shots at 101 yards free-handed. And hopefully I don't embarrass myself. No promises. Make sure where I stand, the concussion doesn't knock the camera over. I don't know if you guys could hear or not, but every single shot was a hit. Like I said, free-handed from 101 yards with my, terrible shooting. I mean, it's hitting. So this thing is pretty sweet. And that 3x magnified optic blows it out of the water. So that's all the shooting I'm doing from here because I don't want to embarrass myself any farther because that was actually pretty decent. So I'm going to turn you guys off. We're going to run back up here and we'll do a mag dump. How about that? All right, I'll see you guys here in a second. All right, we're back. So guys, like I said, the Ruger SFAR chambered in 308. This thing is sweet. I love it. It's light. It's awesome. You guys are probably gonna see this a lot more in the pictures and videos and stuff like that on Instagram and on here in the channel. If I can get a different muzzle device that doesn't kill everybody in the range, I might take a few classes with this, like some fighting rifle classes like I just took with my Daniel. Because, I mean, what's better than a light 308? Why punch a small hole when you can punch a big hole? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we're gonna dump the rest of this mag out. Should be like 15 rounds maybe in it if I can count. I don't know. I'm not very good at counting, but let's just finish this mag off. So guys, that's all I got for it. Ruger SFAR 308. Pick one up if you're looking at getting a 308 rifle. I would even recommend this over the SIG 716i that I have. I already like this one 100 times more than that SIG. SIG's a great gun. It really is. It's a good gun overall. But so far, this thing blows it out of the water. I mean, for the weight, the cost, I mean, this thing's about 1,200 bucks, I think, so not very much. Cheaper than the SIG for sure. And guys, that's all I got. I love this thing. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the subs. Remember, 500 subscriber giveaway. As soon as I hit 500 subscribers, Streamlight TLR1 pistol light. So all you gotta do is subscribe. Guys, follow me on Instagram at The Bearded Wretch. I post a lot of pictures and stuff like that from here on the farm and some new guns I'm picking up. So pretty neat stuff going over there, I guess, if you like it. But either way, guys, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Stay strapped, and I'll see you guys at the range.